What's next for the case of the SUV owner that ran over a security guard and UST Civil Law Professor Atty. DJ Jimenez? Good evening, Atty. Jimenez. Welcome to the big story.
Good evening, Robbie. Good evening, Gretchen.
Okay, Atty. Unang-una yung charges na napapag-usapan, frustrated murder at saka abandonment of one's victims. Does that sound about right, or is there any other charges that we are potentially looking at here?
Well, without really preempting the investigation of the investigating prosecutor, cases like this usually fall under reckless imprudence, no? Qualified by abandonment, in which case still with the RTC. But it can also happen that the investigating prosecutor might find basis to file frustrated homicide. But I have doubts if this would be frustrated murder, because for a crime to be considered as murder or frustrated murder, we have what we call as yung mga special aggravating circumstances, which are abuse of superior strength, no, treachery, etc. Now, as we can see from the footage naman, there may be an intent to kill, pero yung mga ibang aggravating circumstance, the investigating prosecutor might not find it, no. In any event, even if it finds that instead of frustrated murder, pwedeng frustrated homicide, the penalty I think is around 6 years and 1 day to 12 years. In which case, sa RTC pa rin yung jurisdiction. Okay. So, hindi pa rin siya probationable. But in a bigger picture, I think what's important here is Congress should consider this incident as another reason to revisit our law. Kasi ang nag-govern in reckless imprudence cases is still the revised penal code under Article 365, in which case the penalty really ordinarily is within the municipal or metropolitan trial court jurisdiction, in which case kahit nakapatay ka, pwedeng mag-probation, hindi kagaya in other jurisdictions na talagang they really value yung pagka nakadisgrasya, napakalaki ng penalty. So Congress should think look at this.
Attorney, quickly, I just want to clarify something. I'm not sure if I got it right from the police official who was speaking kanina. I trust you were watching that clip. But he said something like, siguro kailangan ng preliminary investigation or preliminary inquiry kasi, sabi niya, hindi na to pwedeng i-inquest. I think that's a direct quote. Hindi na to pwedeng i-inquest because of the lapse of time. What exactly do those terms mean? What does that mean?
Okay, under our present rules of procedure, you can be charged for a criminal offense directly in court if you have been caught in the act of committing a crime or you have just committed a crime. In this particular case, several days before the driver surrendered. And because of that lapse of time, hindi na siya tinatawag nating inquestable. And what happens here? Pwede pa rin kasuhan, pero ito ay ipa-file sa prosecutor's office. And yung ating prosecutor's office, ang magdidetermine ng ating probable cause at saka pa lang niya isasampas sa korte. Okay. Unlike if there and then kakomit ka ng crime, sumuko ka or inaresto ka, diretsong isasampas sa court ang magiging kaso ng people of the Philippines versus yung driver. Okay. Sa ngayon, it's still it's still the victim versus the driver. Wala pang pinafile ang prosecutor's office, iniimbestigahan pa lang kung ano yung appropriate offense that should be filed.
Okay, Attorney, one quick question na lang. Given what you just discussed, na may implications din, although it doesn't necessarily limit the options, but may implications din yung lapse of time. Given that it took 10 days for them to surrender, is there any potential aggravating circumstance there in the amount of time that it took for them to finally face up to this case?
Actually, usually wala naman, in many cases, talaga, those who are subject to similar incidents, talagang medyo hindi mo na yan susurrender kasi kasi na-surrender ka kagad, diretso ka na sasampahan sa korte. So, kaya talagang wala naman siyang ano, kasi after the fact na yan eh. So, natapos na yung offense supposedly. So, wala siyang effect. So, to speak.
Okay. Maraming salamat po. That was a Pinoy street lawyer and UST Civil Law Professor, Attorney DJ Jimenez. Now, what are the charges and sanctions that Mr. San Vicente could face? Gretchen gives us a quick look back. Gretchen?
For starters, we do know that his driver's license has been revoked and that he has been perpetually barred from driving again. The Justice Department has also placed him under Immigration Lookout Bulletin. But apart from that, San Vicente will be facing charges of frustrated murder and abandonment of persons during accidents. PNP records show San Vicente has also had cases of reckless driving back in 2010, 2015, and 2016.